Hi, I'm David Dobson. Welcome to Conversations. Today, my guest is Dr. Kamran Eshghi. We will be discussing sports marketing. Kamran is an assistant professor of marketing at School of Sports Administration at Laurentian University. He received his PhD in marketing from McMaster University. His research focuses on marketing channels, sports sponsorship, marketing finance interface, and marketing strategy. He has published several peer-reviewed research articles. It's a great pleasure to have you with me today, Kamran.
Hi, David. Thank you.
You teach sports marketing. Please explain what sports marketing is.
Sure. Sports marketing is not that much different from the marketing. We have the same definition. Marketing is a process or activities in a kind of that it's about the conception, promotion, distribution, and the pricing of products, goods, services, and experiences with the purpose of exchanging that satisfy the needs of the individuals and organization. It is true for the sports marketing, but there is one big difference. So if you change the products, goods, services to just a sport product and convert the consumers to the sport consumers, we are converting the definition of the marketing, general marketing, to a sports marketing. But there are some differences. One of the differences is that so we may have a sport products or services. So we can apply the same definition of the marketing to them. But there is something extra. Marketing through sports, or you are using the sports as a platform. A good example of that is a sport sponsorship. That, for example, you are a Pepsi company, you are a Coca-Cola company, your product or service is not related to a sport, but you are using a sport platform or association with a sports to increase the brand awareness and sell your product. So it is part of sports marketing. So we can have sport products and services, apply the marketing principles to sport products and services. And on the other hand, we have other companies, not sports related, that they are using the sports as a platform.
Why is sports marketing important?
Well, the first thing is that it is a very huge, large industry. If you check the kind of the size of the industry for sports, I think sports industry revenue, it was around, I think in 2022, it was around $500 billion global. So it is a very huge market. It is about sponsorship revenues. It is about selling the merchandise. It is about the gate or ticket revenue. It is about the TV broadcasting. So, for example, in Canada, we have TSN Sportsnet. They are purchasing the rights to the NBA, to NHL, to Olympics, to the World Cup, and it is part of the sports industry. The sponsorships, the people attending the games, there are the kind of all of them will be part of the sports industry. This is the reason that the sports marketing is important, because you have some sports products and services. As a company, you want to maximize your revenue and profit. So you will apply the marketing principle to sell your sports products and services. What will be the price of the ticket? What will be the price of the merchandise? How you can satisfy the fans within the stadium? How you can satisfy the audience? So it is a very huge industry. This is the reason that we have a sports marketing, and it is very important. Athletes also, some of them, they will be considered as a brand, or they are the brand ambassadors, like LeBron James, like Steph Curry, like Tiger Woods, like Lionel Messi. So they are like a product, or they are like a product. The personalities, they are products. So they have a sponsorship deals. So as an athlete, you are part of that industry and part of that game. How you can kind of collaborate with different brands, what would be the kind of the price of your endorsement or sponsorship deal. And the North America and the Europe is a little bit different in terms of the relationship of the teams with the players, in terms of the some regulations and the laws. But overall, players play for the team. So they are the employee of the team. So if the teams should be perform better to enable to kind of provide better conditions for the players or to hire the kind of the best players. So sports is about on-field and off-field. So off-field teams try to kind of maximize their revenue, but at the same time they want to perform better on-field. But sometimes there would be a kind of a contrast between that, because you have to spend a lot of money, but not necessarily you can make profit. You want to hire the best players in the world. So, but at the same time, you have to spend a lot. So it is difficult to manage these two things at the same time. And the players or athletes, they are part of that. So if the teams, organizations, for example, Canadian Olympic Committee, so there are so many Canadian athletes that they are playing for the country. But at the same time, Canadian Olympic Committee, they should have a good sponsorship deals in place to support the athletes, because not all the money will come from the government. Some of that will come from the sponsorship deals and this kind of things. So it is important for kind of the organizations, no matter if they are for profit or non-profit, they have to kind of do the sports marketing. Another difference is that in a general marketing, we are talking about good services and experiences. But in marketing, we also have personalities. For example, Mark Cuban, the owner of Dallas Mavericks. Michael Jordan, the legendary basketball player for Chicago Bulls. We have the Lionel Messi. So these are also part of the sport products. So you have to set the price for them. You have to promote them, how you can reach these kind of the brands or the products related to them. So Air Jordan is like that. The Nike, they have a contract with the Jordan that they have that line of shoes, sport shoes. But yes, it is the brand. Michael Jordan is the brand.
Why were you interested in sports marketing?
It is the kind of a long story. It is not something related to 5 or 10 years ago. So I'm kind of a huge fan of soccer or football. In Iran, we call it football, not soccer. In North America, we call it soccer. So since I was kind of 5, 6 years old, I was watching my favorite teams. And one of them in Iran is named Persepolis, and the other one is Manchester United. So in my office, I have Man United posters and Persepolis posters here. Today, I'm at home. So I was watching the game. So the first things that I noticed at that time, that at that time that I was watching the game for Man United on TV, it was not like that we can watch every game live. So it was recorded a few days after. So when I was watching the Man United games, I remember I was kind of seeing the Sharp icon, the Sharp brand, the TV electronics, on the kind of the front jersey of Man United. Okay, so it is Sharp TV. Why it is on the kind of the jersey of the Man United? So it was the first thing that I kind of sparked my attention to business side of the sports when I was kind of 6, 7 years old. And after that, I noticed other teams, they have something. So around the stadiums, you are seeing the advertisements. So when kind of I got my bachelor's degree in computer science, software engineering, I was not sure that I want to continue software engineering or I want to switch to marketing. So I switched to marketing. I got my MBA. And during my MBA, I learned more about marketing. And I conducted my final project on a sport sponsorship. So it was the first real experience that I had with kind of sports marketing. Then after I finished my MBA a few years after that, I started PhD in marketing, mostly marketing strategy at McMaster University DeGroote School of Business under supervision of Dr. Surav Ray. And my topic of PhD dissertation was not a sports marketing. So it was mostly B2B marketing, marketing strategy, marketing channel.
Mhm.
But as one of the side jobs, I started for one of the courses. I remember Econometrics 1. I decided to understand the impact of sport sponsorship announcement on a stock return. It was a term project.
Okay.
So I collected some data. One of my friends, right now he's at Prairie A&M University, Hassan Shahriari. We have some papers together. He was a finance PhD student at that time. He told me that he is going to help me with the analysis part because I was not familiar with the method at that time, even to study.
Okay.
So he helped me to conduct the impact of sport sponsorship announcement of Canadian companies.
Okay.
And after the term is done, my supervisor told me that we can make it a paper.
Mhm.
You will spend a lot of time. So it was the first kind of project that from the term project, it was converted to a paper. I worked on that paper for 5 years.
Wow.
Finally published it, went to the different kind of journals and finally published 2 or 3 years ago. So this was the first real project that I conducted on sport sponsorship. And after that, I didn't have any papers during my PhD about the sport sponsorship. And I saw advertisement of job posts at Laurentian University, that the sport administration department, they want somebody to teach sports marketing and analytics. And I applied. I was invited to the campus visit, and finally I got the job. And after that, I started teaching sports marketing for the first time. So that term project, it was kind of changed my future completely, because if I didn't have that paper, I didn't have that much sports marketing on my CV to end up in a kind of a School of Sport Administration department. So this is the way that I got into, and after that, I worked most actively on the sport sponsorship. So because sport sponsorship is one of the understudied part of sports marketing overall. Many firms spend a lot of on sponsorship, but compared to kind of advertising, pricing, distribution channel, or new product development, we do not see so many papers on sports sponsorship. This is the reason that mostly I'm working right now on sports sponsorship, besides the other marketing projects that I have. Definitely. Without that paper, I don't know if I would be here. So it changed the sports sponsorship paper, kind of changed my kind of my career path. I think people that following their PhD not in different fields, especially in marketing, is that focus on your dissertation for sure, which is the main thing. But at the same time, it is good to have some side projects that you can change your term projects for different courses into a paper. And it could be, all of them would be under one umbrella. I don't say that if you are, for example, working in marketing strategy, start a job on consumer behavior, but you can have some side jobs on the same almost area of research, marketing strategy. If you are working on marketing strategy, you can have some side projects on the marketing strategy. If you're a consumer behavior person, you can have some side job, a smaller kind of, that after graduation, you can kind of build on that and work on that.
Was there a particular area of sports marketing that interested to you?
In terms of research, sports sponsorship is the most important thing, because after I kind of work on that term project, and I worked few years after that on that to make it a kind of a final paper, it was about the impact of sports sponsorship announcement on the stock market return of the sponsored firms. And we investigate the role of the marketing capability, that the firms that they have a higher level of marketing capability, they are more successful in kind of benefiting from their investment. And investors, stock investors, also take into account the strength of the marketing capability of the sponsoring firms. After that project, also, I work on meta-analysis on a sport sponsorship. That because there are so many studies using the event study methodology on sport sponsorship, about more than 40 papers, that they found mixed evidence of impact of sport sponsorship. Some of them found positive impact, some of them negative impact, some of them non-significant impact. So it was a kind of a good research question for me. So I conducted a meta-analysis using those 40 papers to find out what would be the aggregate impact of a sport sponsorship, no matter it is in North America, in Europe, in Asia, and kind of on aggregate, I found that stock investors perceive a sport sponsorship announcement as a kind of positive event, and kind of they reward the firms that they are investing in a sport sponsorship. On a recent project, also, I'm working on a sport sponsorship termination, that what will happen after firms they decide not to renew their sport sponsorship, or they are terminating their sport sponsorship contract. It could be by the sponsor, it could be by the other party, the sponsee, the sport property, or the athlete. What will happen? So how investors will evaluate what will happen. For example, Tiger Woods, after that scandal, so many sponsors unilaterally, they decided to terminate their kind of sponsorship contract that they have. So it happened a lot. So I'm working on that project with some of my friends and colleagues on that one.
Finally, what is your advice to students who wish to pursue a career in sports marketing?
If you mean undergraduate students, so here in our program, Sport Administration Department, SPAD, we call it SPAD program, we are kind of preparing students to enter the kind of sport industry. But it is not just a sport industry, because they are taking courses from other fields, finance, accounting, operation, human resources, besides sports courses. So we are preparing them to enter the business world, but they have the good chance to enter the sport industry. We have students that enter working with, for example, Ottawa Senators, or kind of other, or they are working with Toronto Blue Jays. So my advice, if they want to have a career, so a sport management program like us will help them, because we will have a course on sports marketing, sport sponsorship, sport finance, sport operations. We have the kind of the facility and event management. We have so many specific courses that design with the purpose of sports in mind. But at the same time, we have internships, mandatory internships, that students should go work with a sport organization. It could be a just simple job of selling or marketing, or a more advanced one. So we try to connect them with some local or national organizations. So they can apply what they have learned in the first 2 or 3 years in the program. And at the same time, we have another course named Field Trip. That is a capstone project course that we will work with 1 or 2, or maybe more than 2 clients. There could be, for example, some sport teams, famous sport teams. Last semester, we went to Boston and worked with Boston Red Sox. So it is a term project that from the beginning of the course, the team will provide a kind of a problem and ask the students to come up with the solution for their problems. So they have to conduct research, they have to go through all the marketing and other courses that they have, able to respond to kind of that problem that usually teams have. And these problems, most of the time, they are marketing related like about how you want to maximize the revenue,
Yeah.
how you want to change the seating,
Mhm.
how you want to engage the fans within the stadium.
Yeah.
So the combination of all those things
Mhm.
will prepare students to kind of
Mhm.
enter the sport industry. But another thing is that you have to try to read about sports business
Okay.
every day. There are some
Okay.
sources like Front Office Sport,
Yeah.
Sports Pro Media Daily,
Yeah.
or a Sport Business Journal.
Okay.
Most of them are free.
Yes.
So it is a kind of a good kind of a start beginning point that
Right.
you start your day by reading the news from these sources.
Yeah.
So you will know that what will happen.
Yeah.
Because in the past few years, the sport industry changed. We had the blockchain, we have the
Yeah.
cryptocurrencies,
Right.
we have betting companies.
Yeah.
They are changing the college sport in the
Yeah.
US. It is a
Yeah.
very huge kind of
Yes. Yeah.
opportunity for so many kind of
Mhm.
people that they want to start their career.
Mhm.
And the last thing that I want to kind of emphasize is that some students, when they join the program in the sport, they think that they have to work for Toronto Maple Leafs, or they are going to work for the Toronto Raptors, or they are going to work with, I don't know, Boston Red Sox. But it is good to think about that. But you can learn a lot of things even at a small sport organization,
Right.
especially those sport organization or teams that they do not have resources.
Right.
So when you work there as an intern or at the beginning of your career,
Yeah.
you will end up doing so many things at the same time. You may work with the marketing, you will work with the sales, you will work with the operation.
Yeah.
So you will learn a lot in a smaller organization that it
That's
will
true.
prepare you to
Yeah.
go to the larger organization that
Yeah.
you really like them, or you are fan of those
Yeah.
kind of large teams.
Right.
So internship, and it is very important, and
Yeah.
also the courses.
Yeah.
You will be will be exposed to different courses: sports
Mhm.
marketing, sports finance, and we have so many elective courses that like business analytics in a sport, business research method, sport performance analytics. So you will learn about different aspects of the sports.
Nice.
In a program, we are the first in the country that, and
Nice.
we are the oldest sport business program within the country. So if they want to start kind of working in the sport industry, our program definitely could be kind of a good place for them
Nice.
to start their journey.
That's good to know. Thank you for your time, Kamran. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.